Today in science, we're going to talk about what animals need to live and grow. So we'll go over our DLO, I'll show you some pictures, and we'll talk about some questions. Here we go. Today I will explain what animals need to live and grow. So humans, plants, and animals need things to live and grow. A need is something you have to survive, to live. If you remember, plants need air, water, food, space to live. Plants, air, water, food, space to live. Those are the things they need to have in order to live and grow. So I want you to take a look at this picture here that I have. This is an orangutan with a mouthful of bananas and a baby. What evidence do you see that the animal needs food? What do you see in this picture that tells you this animal needs food? Look in his mouth. What does the orangutan have in her mouth? A bunch of bananas. So we know orangutans need food because she has a mouthful of bananas. You've been learning about different animals with Miss Young, and I know last week you talked about mammals. Orangutans are mammals. So this mama needs some bananas. The baby could eat bananas too, but baby mammals get milk from their mom. So the baby here needs food, and the baby orangutan is going to get food from mama. What other things do you think an animal needs to live and grow? We know they need food, but what else do animals need? If we were at school, we would go outside and walk around the playground and find evidence of animals at school. But I want you to think about what animals might be at a playground or in our community, in your backyard. Think of some different animals that live where you live. What kind of animals live in our community? Think about that for a minute. If you look outside, we all live in different places here in Farmington. What other animals live in our community? I can think of birds, prairie dogs, squirrels. Maybe you have pets like dogs and cats. There's some coyotes. What other animals can you think of that live around us? Now with your helper, I want you to think about those animals that I talked about. I talked about birds, prairie dogs, squirrels, dogs, cats. I'll show you some pictures. So here's a prairie dog, a couple prairie dogs. They live at our school. Pesky rodents destroying our playground. But there's a reason why they live on our playground. Here's a bird in a pinon tree. We have some pinon trees at our school. The birds come to. We'll talk about what that bird's doing in a moment. Here's some squirrels inside a tree. There's a hint there for you about what else animals need. So take a look at these little animals here. We've got some prairie dogs, a bird in a pinon tree, and we've got a couple squirrels here. Think and talk to your helper about how maybe a prairie dog and a squirrel are the same, or how are they different? How is a bird and a squirrel the same? How are they different? I want you to think about what you think these animals need to live and grow. What do you think prairie dogs need? There's a couple clues in here, in this picture I mean. I see grass in the background. Did you know that prairie dogs eat grass? That's their food, some of their food. So they need food, just like the orangutan needs food. How about this bird here? This bird is eating the pinon from the pinon tree. He's eating, he needs food. How about the squirrels in this tree? Are they eating? No, they're not eating. But what do you think they're doing in that hole in the tree? They live there. So think about where these animals live. Where does a bird usually build a nest? In trees. Where do squirrels have their little squirrel holes or squirrel nests? In trees. So that's something that's similar. Not groundhogs, prairie dogs. Do they have nests in trees? Like birds and squirrels? No. They have underground burrows. So that's something that would be different. So there's some things that we talked about that were the same and different. We definitely know that animals need food because we see evidence of the orangutan eating bananas and the bird eating piñons. We don't see the prairie dogs eating grass, but I told you that that's a fact. We know animals need a place to live because the squirrel is in his burrow here. There's other things they need too that are not in the picture. So let me show you another picture. Before I do, let's recap. Recap isn't the word I wanted to use, but let's revisit what plants need. We know plants need air, water, food, and a space to live. There's some things that are the same with the animals and plants of things they need to live and grow. Plants definitely need water and definitely need light. So what do animals need to live and grow? Think about that question while I get the next picture. What do animals need to live and grow? Okay. So take a look at this raccoon. There's a little raccoon here. He's in the forest. Let's see, can you see? I'll zoom in just for a moment. Look at him right there. We know plants need water and light. What do animals need to live and grow? So looking at this raccoon, what observations can you make about the raccoon in the forest? Tell your helper everything you notice about the raccoon and the forest. What is the raccoon doing right here? I'll zoom in a little bit more. He's eating. Looks like he's eating some strawberries to me. What's this over here? Maybe a pond? Why do you think the raccoon might need the pond? Do you think he needs to drink water? He does. Now, what about this open log here or this open hole in the tree? How do you think those could help the raccoon survive? It could be his shelter, a place to live. And the forest, look at the colors that he is. He's a dark color. If he wants to hide from predators, animals that might want to gobble him up, eat him, this might be a good place for him to hide. So this raccoon needs food, water, air to breathe, and shelter, whether he gets the shelter from this tree or maybe this open log here. An animal needs food, water, air, and shelter. They need similar things like plants need to live and grow. They both need food, they both need water, they both need air. One thing that's a little different is that some plants don't need shelter to sleep or hide, but rather some plants use other plants as protection. So in my garden, when I grow strawberries, I know strawberries need a little bit of shade, so they can use bigger plants to help them grow better. So plants, they need air, water, space to live, and food. And animals need food, water, air, and shelter. So they have some things that are the same and some things that are a little bit different. So tomorrow we'll talk about other things that animals and humans need to survive.